No, takže dostal som sa sem na toto Hradisko. Čiže takto to vyzeralo. Takto to vyzerá na pozadí. Ale čo tu mohlo byť? They couldn't probably grow crop or anything, like, so you see all the mountains, like why would the people would even come here?
Actually they could, and this is one of the most important features of this place.
Začnime slovami, ktoré boli napísané pred takmer 1500 rokmi. Jordanes, pôvod a činy Gótov, rok 551. Blízko ľavého hrebenia hôr, ktorý smeruje na sever a začínajúc pri pramení Visly, býva početný národ Venetov, obývajúc veľké územie. Aj keď ich mená sú dnes roztrúsené medzi rôzne kmene a miesta, predsa sa volajú hlavne Sklaveni a Anti. Država Sklavenov siaha na sever až po Vislu. Majú močiare a lesy namiesto miest. Močiare a lesy namiesto miest, pramene Visly, severné svahy Karpát, rozľahlá krajina Venetov. Práve tam sa v starých prameňoch začína vynárať meno Sklavenov. Za pôvodom Slovenov som už putoval cez Rumunsko, Maďarsko, Chorvátsko, Srbsko, Slovinsko i Rakúsko. Bol som v Polabí, na Arkone, ba aj vo Švédsku. No krajinu pri prameňoch Visly, od ktorej Jordanes začína svoj opis, som dovtedy nepoznal. Nevidel som jej hory, nešiel som jej údoliami, nestal som na jej dávnych hradiskách. A to ju mám za rohom. A tak som sa vybral do Poľska. Chcel som vidieť terén, riečne cesty, horské priesmyky a miesta, na ktorých žili ľudia dávno pred prvými slovanskými kronikami. Prečo sa po celé tisícročia vracali práve na severné svahy Karpat? Bola to úrodná zem, soľ vyvierajúca z hôr, kovy zo Sedmohradska, jantár prichádzajúci od Baltu, alebo cesta medzi dvomi svetmi, severom a Karpatskou kotlinou? Na tejto ceste som vystúpil na Zyndramovu horu pri Maszkowiciach. Na jej vrchole ležia kamenné múry, hradiska z doby bronzovej, staré približne 3700 rokov. Po stáročiach ticha bolo toto miesto znovu osídlené aj v 9. storočí. Ako by sa ľudia k tejto hore znovu a znovu vracali. Ako by vedeli niečo, na čo sme my zabudli. A práve medzi odkrytými múrmi som náhodou stretol archeológa Marcina Przybyłu, ktorý tu viedol výskum. Súhlasil s rozhovorom. A tak som sa ho opýtal, čo bolo na tejto hore také vzácne, že sem ľudia prichádzali už v dobe bronzovej a potom sa sem po mnohých staročiach znovu vrátili. Švidník. Museli tu žiť nejakí Švédi a potom sú tu megalitičné kruhy. Švédske. No, takže dostal som sa sem na toto Hradisko, ale ešte treba ísť hore. A ide tam cesta. Lenže problém je, že ja som išiel z druhej strany, takto som išiel tam poza túto horu. Tam sa nedá absolútne ísť, to je veľmi strmé, ako aj tu, to je strašne strmé, keď sa pozriete, to je extrémne strmé a som zvedavý, že či tam vôbec vyjdem tým autom. Hradisko. No nič, idem to skúsiť. Je to normálne, akože hentam som sa nedostal a toto je viac menej tiež riskantné. Toto má nevýhodu, že je veľmi ťažké a preto keď by som náhodou že zapadol, aby sa mi začali preklzovať predné kolesa, tak nemám šancu sa pohnúť. No. No, tu je Jan Pavol, to by bolo Poľsko, aby tu nebol Jan Pavol. No dobré. Neviem, je to asi tu. Problém je, že neviem, kde je to Hradisko. Tak pozerám, že tu sú nejaké valy, typujem, že by to mohlo byť ono. Ale takto, že by som si to predstavoval, že tam budú nejaké kamene, nejaké kamenné štruktúry. Ale to vyzerá, že to je len val. Dúfam, že tu nie sú nejaké medvede. Ja už normálne, lebo teraz hlásili dneska, že v mojej dedine, kde bývam, medvedica s mláďaťom bola videná. Aha. Takže tu sú nejaké kamene, nejaké skaly. Takže nejaké štruktúry tu boli. Ale nech mi niekto vysvetlí, že kto v dávnych dobách by tu býval v týchto horách. Tak na druhej strane zase sú tu lesy, sú tu pasienky. My asi podceňujeme význam tých pasienkov potom. No, čo to tu píšu? Idem to prečítať. Takže vlastne, čo som sa dočítal, že niekoľko dedín dohromady mali tento hrad a v rokoch doby bronzovej, to znamená 1700 až 1550 pred našim letopočtom, pred našou érou. Potom o 1000 rokov neskôr, tiež ale pred našim letopočtom, potom prišla zase iná kolonizácia okolo roku 800 a 500. Potom prišla kolonizácia v 2. veku, to znamená v 2. storočí, z časov istnienia Imperium rímskeho. Istnienia, to neviem, čo znamená, či to je zánik alebo vzrast. Istnienia, to pozriem, Imperium rímskeho. Takže v čase Rímskej ríše sa tu znova objavili ľudia. Potom pozostávala bezľudná až do strednoviečnej akcii kolonizacyjnej, choć každou z nich zakladali noví ľudia, nemajúcich žiadnych związków ze svými poprzednikami, to jednak v jakým stopňu przejmovali ich dedictvo. Čiže vlastne oni brali v dobe železnej toto kamenie a používali ho na stavbu svojich vecí. No a ten múr, ktorý postavili, tak oni píšu, že ten múr bol vznesenie okolo 1750 roku pred našim letopočtom fortifikácie najstaršie osady na gorze Zyndrama miały 200 metrov długości, 2 metre grubości i 3 metre wysokości. V gornej partii múr pravdepodobne byl oblepiony glinou, aby utrudniť nápastníkom spínanie sien po ním. Čiže bol tam hlina na vrchu toho múru. Najbližšie podobne varovanie z tego samego času znáne sú z Chorvácii, fotografia po ľavej. Čiže v Chorvátsku bola takáto nejaká situácia, ako sa stávali tie múry a podobné niečo bolo tu. Posiadajú one taką samą konstrukcję muru oraz identyczny rozkład bram i ich budowie. Čiže rovnaký štýl budovania. No, takže takto vyzerala brána. Szczególnie tajemniczym tajemniczym elementem fortyfikacji jest brama wschodnia, dekorująca ją 6 pionowych płyt kamiennych, prawdopodobnie symbolizowało ustawione w szpaler postacje ludzkie. W przejściu zdeponowane zostały warstwy popiołu i kości zwierząt. A tuż poniżej bramy odkryliśmy dwie schematyczne figurki postaci ludzkich, čiže ľudských postav. Te nietypowe cechy sugerują, że brama wschodnia była miejscem odprawiania rytuałów. To jest zaujímavé. Iným rodzajem zabytkov, ktorý môže wiązać się z kultem, są małe gliniane figurky świń. Takže našli malé figurky, hlinené figurky svíň, teda z prasiat. Tak toto vyzeralo. Zostały one odkryte w warstwie sprzed 3,5 tysiąca lat. Čiže pred 3500 rokmi ich našli v tej vrstve. V najstaršej vrstve našli figurky svíň. Ale toto je vlastne veľmi zaujímavé, pretože práve Slovania boli známi tým, že chovali svine. Iné národy chovali všeličo, čo ja viem, krávy na tých stepiach a tak ďalej, ale práve Slovania chovali svine. A preto sa asi tak rozmnožili, že vlastne vyrastli na sviniach. Ako nechcem to zosmiešňovať, ale naozaj je to zaujímavé, že sa to zhoduje práve so Slovanmi. No a tu sa píše, že vedia, ako boli skonštruované ich domy, akými rodzajami rzemiosła się zajmowali, že akými remeslami sa zaoberali, čo jedli a tak ďalej. A v čase, kedy povstal múr na Gorze Zyndrama, v Európe sa objavila proste produkcia bronzu, teda kombinácia medí a cínu. Z toho vyplýva teda epocha bronzu. Odkryté v Maszkowiciach ozdoby pochodia zo Hradiska, pravdepodobne Sedmohradska, 7 gródu bronzy, teda bronz, bol asi pravdepodobne v tých karpatských horách dolovaný, i z Nadbaltiku. Burštín. Takto mohol vyzerať obraz a oblečenie nejakej aristokratky z tej doby na tejto hore. Takže mala takéto ozdoby, takéto poskrúcané veci. Toto už nie je o tejto hore, toto je viac menej o tom, ako archeológovia vedia nájsť miesta, kde majú kopať. No proste sa robia sondy a tak ďalej, akože a nejde to ani čítať, pretože toto mňa moc nezaujíma, lebo sa to netýka tejto hory. No poďme teraz hore, pozrieť sa, že čo je vlastne tam hore. Takže takto to vyzeralo. Aha, tam je aj stan. Tu niekto stanuje. Hen tam je, niekto tu meria, niekto tu pracuje asi. Tam je zameriavač. Geodetický zameriavač. No, takže takto vyzeral múr. Vravím, že z tej druhej strany, to je odtiaľ, tam som sa nevedel ani vyštverať, tam je to veľmi prudké. Tu je vidno, že bola robená sonda. Takto. A ináč je to vlastne zapadnuté, zarovnané, zarastené. Jak sú hento nejakí odborníci, tak by som s nimi mohol urobiť interview. Sú tam nejakí ľudia, no. Takže vlastne takto sa stával ten múr. Wow. Tu bola tá brána. Tu sa maká, tu sa kope. Furikujú. Čiže takto to vyzeralo. Takto to vyzerá na pozadí. Ale čo tu mohlo byť? Hen tam sú... Počkaj, kde je vlastne juh? Pozrieme sa do kompasu. Tuto je sever. Tu je východ. Tu je juh. Toto je juh. A toto je západ. To je západ. To sa fachčí. Repči. I am from Slovakia, and now I came here because I'm interested in this place. So, what was this?
Oh, it's a long story. What we have here are traces of some multi-phase settlement, prehistoric settlement, which is located in natural defensive place. So you can see that the slopes of this hill, of this promontory, are quite steep. So it was a very good place for locating a settlement in the prehistoric times. First, because of the defensive features of this place. Secondly, because they could control the whole valley of Dunajca river, which is down here in this direction. So, as I said, what we have here are traces of several settlements from the prehistoric times. The oldest one is dated back to the early Bronze Age, up to the 18th and 17th century BC, and it's connected with Ottomani Fizeshaboni cultural circle. It's something that you also probably know from the Slovakia, because it's actually the core of Ottomani Fizeshaboni cultural circles in the
What is the culture?
Ottomani Fizeshaboni cultural
Ottomani?
Fizeshaboni.
Fizeshaboni?
Fizeshaboni. It's Romanian and Hungarian names.
Oh, right, okay.
It's the core of this cultural tradition is located in southeastern Slovakia, northern Hungary, and western Romania. So these people here were, let's say, colonizers from the Carpathian Basin.
All right.
And they came here in the 18th century BC. And then we have some long settlement break called hiatus in archaeology. And then there are traces of several settlements from the Iron Age. The oldest one, more or less, from the 8th, 7th century BC. The youngest is connected with something which also is mainly known from the Slovakian territory. It's called Puhov culture. It's Celtic or Latin cultural tradition from the last centuries BC.
So what was interesting here that they came here at all? What are these walls and like that?
Okay, these walls are connected with the oldest phase of the settlement activity here. Actually, the oldest activity of human on this place is erection of this stone fortifications, which are completely unique. They don't have proper analogies in our part of Central Europe. Similar defensive constructions in the same, let's say, architectonical style are known from Southern Europe, from Adriatic coast, and they are more or less dated at the same time. So it's 18th and 17th century BC. So it's completely unique. It's one of the oldest stone fortifications in Europe outside the Mediterranean. So it's really something, some very rare case. And settlement was so this fortification is still well built in the oldest phase of the settlement. At that time, probably houses were located more or less on the non-existing top of the promontory, peak of the promontory. Then in second phase, more or less around 1690 BC, the top of the promontory was nivelated.
What is the top of promontory?
So the peak of the original peak of this hill.
It's called promontory?
Yes, promontory is more like how to explain. It's kind of
maybe in Polish.
Cypel.
Cypel.
So it's something that is going deeply into the valley. It's not technically not a hill, not a mountain. It's something that is part of the like the river valley and it's going.
Like a valley? Is it like a valley? Would be a valley?
So valley is here, and what is above it are promontories.
Promontories. Okay. Oh, you mean like probably úpetě? Like
maybe like
this. Úpetě, like of the mountains, like the foothill of the mountains.
Yeah, like foothill, but something that is going
deep in the mountains. Okay, right. Okay.
But dominating over the valley, but it's on the edge of the valley, not as a peak of the mountain.
So what was interesting, because like why would they? I was like wondering like. They couldn't probably grow crop or anything, like, so you see all the mountains, like why would the people would even come here?
Actually they could, and this is one of the most important features of this place. So this whole widening of the Dunajec River Valley, which is called Łącko Basin, is actually the last place when going deeper in the mountain when you can have a proper agriculture in the reality of the Bronze Age of the prehistoric times, because you have very good soils. It's called fluvial soils in the valleys when you can plant wheat, for example. Of course, it's not a place that so you cannot have some very big community of people here, like thousands of them, but hundreds. It's completely possible. And at the same time, you're already very deep in the valley and very deep in the mountains, and you can control the main roads that go across the Carpathians. And I think that this was the main reason of this for the settlers here, that they came from the southern part of Europe, from the Carpathian Basin, just to establish kind of. It's not a very good analogy, but kind of trade factory, let's say. So the spot, which is belonging to some people from the south, but it's located much northward, and they can control a very important road going across the Carpathians. So something that we call.
So there was like a trade route this way.
Yes. Okay. You cannot in the reality of the Bronze Age. It's difficult to say that there was one route. There was a lot of routes.
Yeah.
But in the mountains, they are limited because of the geography. You have only several passes.
Yeah.
There are several places you can quite convince. You could cross the mountains, and you can cross the mountains, and this is one of them. And we know that these people have, like pottery and other objects are from the southern Europe, but at the same time from the side we have also Baltic amber, which we also know from the settlements in Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, and further to the south. So we know that something like the oldest form of amber road already exists in the early Bronze Age, and actually, in fact, it started in 18th century BC when this place was established. So it's exactly the same time when these walls were erected here and first settlers started to live on that promontory.
And then around the Roman age, I read there was another wave of colonization here. So who were the people? Did they come from the Carpathian, or did they come from the Sweden, or like?
Actually, in the Roman age, we have very little evidence of anything happening here in this region. There are several sites in Poprad Valley, like 20-30 kilometers from here. From this very site, we know only something like 15 shards of pottery from the Roman period and one Roman brooch. We know that we know that people were here, that some camp existed here, but nothing more. So actually the last trace of permanent settlement here is dated to the 1st century BC. So
BC before the
so Celtic times, Latin times, so-called Puchov culture. And actually this last phase was like maybe 1 or 2 houses somewhere in this direction. Already people living on the ruins of the older settlements. So the peak of intensity of settlement processes here is like early Bronze Age, 18th, 17th century BC, and later again in 8th, 7th century BC. So beginning of the Iron Age.
Yeah, because I'm like thinking about the Nestor chronicle. You know, like he was describing about like the Slavs were like kind of they were pushed out of the Carpathian Basin to the Wisla River. So they settled. So I was like, so maybe was it? I'm just thinking, could it be that the Slavs from the Carpathian Basin could have come over here? Because I know some other theories are that from the north the Slavs came to the Carpathian Basin, but Nestor is saying something else. Like the Romans pushed the Slavs from the Carpathian Basin over to the Wisla River. So like. Is there any chance or anything like that?
Frankly, I would believe rather to the modern archaeology than some Middle Age historian chroniclers, because they just at that time they just discovered Roman sources. They were very fascinated by Roman history. They started to read in Latin. They started to understand what happened in the past, and they wanted very much to combine this Roman history. With
be part of it. Yeah.
Yes, to be part of it. And there is a lot of the myth creation at that time. Like in Polish chronicle of Widzent Kadłubek, for example, in 13th century, he also see Poles fighting against Alexander the Great or Caesar. They wanted to be part of this history. So I think that the evidence we have now in archaeology is that slaves really came from somewhere from the northeast, and they colonized Carpathians later. So, but we don't have it here. We don't have the traces of the oldest Slavic settlement. We have barely sites we can connect with Roman period, and there is a very interesting site nearby if you would like to see it.
Which one?
It's still visible. It's the hill fort in Maszkowiciach. It's like in this direction around the main road. It's like 7 kilometers maybe. It's a huge middle-age settlement with the oldest phases from the tribal period. It's like 8th, 9th century AD, with some traces of some other imports, and then it was rebuilt and settled again in 9th, I think 10th century AD. Actually, it was destroyed more or less at the time when the Polish kingdom already, or the oldest Polish state started to be created, and this whole part was conquered by Mieszko I. So like end of the 10th century. But it's really huge. The walls are still visible. It's an interesting place.
So I noticed there on the plate, they were describing, they found this little like ceramic animals, the swines, like the pigs, which is to me interesting, because I know that especially it was the Slavs who were keeping these pigs, and basically they were able to survive and kind of thrive, and like multiply and grow as a nation and like that because of these pigs. Because some other nations, like the tribal, the nomadic tribes, they would in the steppes they would have cows and like horses or whatever. But so people here, they had these. So is there any chance that 3,000 years ago, before what is it, 3,000 before our era? Yeah. So is there any chance that they would be the first ancestors of the Slavs or whatever? No chance.
I don't think so. We simply cannot say it because early Bronze Age, so more or less the time when this place was first inhabited. Once again, it's 18th, 17th century BC. It's a time when still we have count with the possibility that almost in the whole Europe exists, if not one language, then just very closely related branches of this one proto-Indo-European language. It's already the start of the speciation of languages. So we cannot say in such a distant period we cannot say that this was Slavic.
Okay.
German languages that existed.
I get the point. Yeah.
That was developed later. But you made a good point. So that the pigs are animals that are connected with societies that are very settled. It's something that is even connected with some ways of proto-urban life. So this is the reason why sometimes we have more of them and sometimes less. It's not connected with some ethnic identity. It's connected with the way of life. So if you don't move too much, if you live in one place for a long time, if you have forests around you, because pigs were originally fitted mainly in forests. It's a proper. These are proper conditions to base your economy on this type of animals.
So would there be any metals or salt mines or anything of worth of interest to settle here? Or is it just rather to control the trade route or whatever?
Yes, it's mainly about the route. So we have, of course, metal here, metal objects, but all metal objects are made in this early Bronze Age context are made of the copper, which origins from
Transylvania.
Transylvania, yes. So there are not local ores here. There are no local ores. There's no salt here. They could obtain locally salt because probably it was possible already at the time that there were, back in that time that there were some burns here and there, but it was something more for a local.
So where would they take the salt from? Because they had meat. They had the swine, so they definitely had to have salt to preserve the meat like that. Maybe they were just smoking, but maybe also for that you also need salt.
Yes, of course. The salt was necessary both for preserving meat and it was also important for animals to eat.
For people as well.
Yes, to drink, eat.
And
I think that locally there were some burns, some sources, some springs with salt water. We know it because there are still local names of, for example, the hill which is the next one here. It's called Solnisko.
Really?
So, yes. So no one knows whether so probably nothing exists there already because a lot of this local sources of salt were destroyed later. Like for example, in 19th century, the Austrian officials wanted to prevent people from obtaining salt on their own because they want them to buy salt from this official sources. So a lot of these local sources of salt were simply destroyed. But there are still some traditions, some toponyms that can prove that.
So do you think there could be a salt mine, or it was like a salt storage?
No, I think that this was just a source of water of salty water.
Salty water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Salina, something like
yes,
or Slatina maybe.
And they probably it was on that scale that they can use it just for themselves, nothing more. We have of course traces of production of salt, but it's much more northward toward Kraków region. From that time, we already know that they produce a lot of salt there.
Oh, already, yeah. You mean
Wieliczka. Already in the early Bronze Age, we have traces of salt production there.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Because, that's interesting. Okay. So I thought Wieliczka was maybe found discovered 18th century, no?
this era? No, not like that.
No, of course not.
11th century. Sorry, 11th
century. Of course, in the Middle Age, there were mines there, and it was exploited on the large scale. But the salina, this beer or salty water, were exploited in the prehistoric times already. And we have on the southern bank of Vistula River in Kraków region, there are whole sites actually filled mainly with some production pottery for evaporating of salt.
Wow.
It was like kind of factories.
Wow. Okay. So, and that would be from like 3,000 years ago, or?
Yeah,
I mean, not ago, but I mean before the era.
No, 3,000 years ago, more or less.
Yeah.
Like early Bronze Age. So
early Bronze, yeah.
20th century BC, let's say.
What can you say about Goths were coming from the Gotland and Sweden, and they were like traveling, moving to the Carpathian, because we know Gepids there around the Tisa River, like that. Are there any traces, any proofs of Goths or Swedish or like Scandinavians living here or anything like that? No.
Even I mean, here in Carpathians, in Polish Carpathians, even if we have Roman period sites, they are more strongly connected with some with Carpathian Basin too. So regarding style of pottery, for example, or some artifacts like this brooch from our side is rather typical for some Sarmatian tribes from the Carpathian Basin. So it's more in this direction. As far as I know, I'm not the Roman period specialist, but as far as I know this supposed migrations of Scandinavian people went more toward the southeast. So they rather omitted Carpathians. They went more toward Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah.
Across Poland, but more in that direction.
So because I was driving here, there was a village called Świdnik. So like Swedi, Swed. No.
I don't think in this direction.
No. Okay.
By the way, interesting Iron Age hoard was found there in Świdnik.
Iron Age?
Yeah.
What?
Early Iron Age hoard. Hoard, scarp. So deposit.
Deposit.
Like a depot.
Like a depot, like treasury, like treasure.
Yes, like treasure.
Like a gold, or
no, not gold. These were some bronze and iron. Tools.
Bronze and iron tools
and decorations, ornaments.
So where did they take the copper and I don't know how to say tin? Tin. I don't know how to say in English.
So it depends on the period of time. As I said, in the early Bronze Age, copper is from Carpathian Basin. Later, it can change. There are some sources. I think at least part of these objects were made from the copper from Alpine region, but generally it's difficult to say. So it's changed from one time period to another.
Could it come from the Baltic? Are there any?
No, there are no local sources of metal in the Baltic region.
All right. So
like in the whole Scandinavia, for example, the whole Scandinavian Bronze Age based only on imported metal.
Okay, but at the same time they were very good producers of the swords. So it's interesting that they had no metals and they were still able to.
Yeah, it's in fact interesting that they very much developed the skills of bronze casting, but at the same time they were completely dependent on the imported.
It's interesting. Sources. Wow. Okay, so what's your name again?
Marcin Przybyła.
Marcin Przybyłu. And tell me, so you're an archaeologist?
Yeah.
Based in what city?
I'm from Jagiellonian University in Kraków.
Jagiellonian
University.
Say it again,
Jagiellonian University in Kraków.
Jagiellonian University.
Uniwersytet Jagielloński w Krakowie.
And please, can you tell again, can you say it again, the name of the medieval fortress?
Naszacowice.
Naszacowice?
Naszacowice.
Szacowice.
Naszacowice.
Naszacowice. What does it mean? Anything? Na means like a preposition, no? Szacowice means something?
Oh, I don't know, it's a riddle I'm not able
No, not like that?
to solve.
Okay, Naszacowice, okay. So 7 kilometers that way, yeah?
More or less, so several kilometers.
Several.
This way. I don't think that there is a. But you should find it on some Google map or something like that.
Yeah, nachádzajú.
I suppose that you should find even the skill for there. Because it's quite well known. It's not very easy so you cannot approach it by car. You have to stop your car more closer to the main road and then
walk.
Climb, then walk up.
Yeah. Do you have anything else interesting to say?
No, plenty of things.
Because I'm really curious, took a trip to Poland to discover these old stony megalithic circles. I was trying to get to Przyszova, something. Is it the village Przyszova, something, or something like that? And I couldn't get there because the road was closed, and I was afraid to walk. Basically, that I would get lost and like that, So I know there were megalithic circles here.
I never heard about this.
No. I can show you on the map then.
Przyszova?
It's a couple of kilometers from here, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes from here.
Interesting.
I will show you, yeah. So thank you very much for the interview, unless you have anything else to say, but yeah, thank you, and we'll...
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Čo povedať na záver? Na Zyndramovú horu som prišiel s otázkou, prečo sa ľudia usadzali práve na severných svahoch Karpat. Odpoveď nebola ukrytá v jednej veci. Bola ukrytá v celej krajine. Údolím Dunajca viedla dávna cesta spájajúca Baltské more s Karpatskou kotlinou. Putovali po nej ľudia, jantár, bronz, soľ i remeselné poznanie. Neďaleko leží kopec Solnisko, ktorého meno uchováva pamäť na slané pramene. Soľ nebola iba korením, bola životom, bohatstvom a mocou. Na Hradisku sa našli aj keramické figurky divých svíň. O mnoho storočí neskôr opisovali staré správy Slovanov ako ľudí lesnej krajiny a chovateľov ošípaných pasúcich sa medzi stromami. Tým sa odlišovali od stepných národov, ktorých bohatstvo spočívalo najmä v stádach koní a hovädzieho dobytka. Figurky zo Zyndramovej hory nemožno nazvať slovanskými, sú takmer o 2000 ročia staršie. Predsa však pripomínajú, že svet lesa, diviakov a ľudí žijúcich medzi Karpatskými horami mal korene o mnoho hlbšie, než kam siahajú kroniky. A potom sú tu kamenné múry. Ich najbližšie podoby archeológovia poznajú ďaleko na juhu, pri Jadrane, v oblasti dnešného Chorvátska. Pred približne 3700 rokmi teda niekto preniesol cez karpatské priesmyky nielen bronz a vzácne suroviny, ale aj znalosť, ako opracovať kameň a vybudovať takéto opevnenie. Najstarší obyvatelia tohto miesta prišli z Karpatskej kotliny. Bronz ich spájal so Sedmohradskom, krajinou bohatou na kovy a soľ. Spôsob stavby múrov ich spájal s krajinami pri Jadrane. Kamene, bronz, soľ a riečne cesty tak ukazujú, že sever a juh nikdy neboli oddelenými svetmi. Od Sedmohradska a Porolisa cez karpatské priesmyky a údolie Dunajca viedla cesta ku Krakovu, Visle a ďalej k Baltu. Cesta staršia než prvé slovanské mená v kronikách. Možno práve takéto cesty pripravili krajinu, v ktorej sa neskôr objavili Slovania. Moja návšteva Zyndramovej hory preto nebola iba návštevou archeologického náleziska. Bola zostupom do pamäti Karpat. Do času, keď hory neoddeľovali svety, ale spájali ich. Keď rieky neboli hranicami, ale cestami. Keď soľ, vyvierajúca zo zeme, bronz, prichádzajúci z hôr a jantár, prinášaný zo severu, vytvárali neviditeľnú sieť medzi vzdialenými krajinami. A nad tým všetkým zostáva otázka, ktorá ma priviedla až sem. Čo našli dávni ľudia na severných svahoch Karpát, že sa sem po celé tisícročia vracali? A môže byť práve tu, pri prámeňoch Visly, medzi lesmi, soľou a horskými cestami, ukrytá jedna z odpovedí na otázku pôvodu Slovenov?